The first 5 minutes after walking through my door after a long day of work used to be the worst of my day. I would barrel in, my brain was already 3 steps ahead. Get dinner done, get it cleaned up, homework, baths, right? My kids would come running to me, so excited to see me, and they truly wanted me. They wanted me to give them that attention so they could share about their day, and I would just wave them off. Just give me a minute, I gotta get dinner started. Now, those first 5 minutes belong to my kids. Dinner can wait 5 minutes. And I can tell you, that shift didn't come from a better routine or a productivity hack. It came from the hardest season of my life, and today I want to tell you the whole story. Here's where I am now, so that you know this is actually possible. I stopped making to-do lists and I make priority lists instead. And that one swap changed the entire weight of my days. Even when I feel the pressure starting to build inside me, I can notice it now and I can name it. And I'm able to bring myself back before everything just spills over. And 9 times out of 10, I can show up in a way that I actually want to. And my kids, they're learning too. They're starting to recognize when their own system gets overwhelmed. We work through it together, and it has changed our entire household. And none of that came from a better schedule. It came from fixing the real problem, the root, the core of the problem, not just managing all of the mess on top of it and trying to fix surface level problems. So let me walk you through how that happened. A few years ago, I was that mom that could not stop moving, right? Juggling all the balls, spinning all the plates, keeping everything moving. Demanding job, full life, with a husband and 2 kids that I loved more than anything. And every day, I had a to-do list that was a freaking mile long. And every night, I'd go to bed, and half of it was still undone. And that weight just sat there. I was always behind, always owning something, always carrying yesterday's leftovers into today. And every single night, I'd walk through that door after work and feel that rush hit harder and that weight feel heavier. And that dinner now, homework now, get baths done, get tomorrow's lunch going, faster, faster, faster. My kids would come running up to me when I walked in, and I wanted to be there for that. I really did. But my brain never made it home with me, right? Still at work, still distracted. You know that feeling like when you're watching a movie and your mind just wanders for a bit, and then you suddenly realize you missed the last 10 minutes? That's what being with my kids felt like. I was in the room, but I kept missing it. And I tried to fix it the way that I have fixed everything else. Better routines, earlier cutoff times to get home, getting more organized, getting a better planner, but nothing stuck. Because here's what I didn't know yet. When your body has been in go mode for so long, when you've been like sprinting day after day, it doesn't just switch off when you walk through the door. It doesn't know how to. It's like trying to stop a freight train with a speed bump. The train is just gonna keep going, right? And I couldn't figure out why nothing was working. And it was because I was treating the wrong problem. And then life stopped me in a way I never saw coming. In the middle of COVID, everything, busy, crazy life, working full time from home, 2 kids under 4 at home with no childcare, I got a breast cancer diagnosis. It's aggressive and fast moving. And within a few weeks, I had surgery, I started chemo, and I lost most of my hair. And cancer brought a kind of fear that I had never felt before. Not that everyday worry kind, the deep in your bone, deep in your soul kind. The kind that makes everything go quiet. Because for the first time in my life, I was not in control, and I knew it. I couldn't plan my way out of this. I couldn't hustle through it, which I pride myself so much in everything else, right? I couldn't put this on a to-do list and check it off. And my load got heavier in a way that I never expected. Not from doing more, but from having to let things go. Some days I was too sick, too spent, way too exhausted to do anything. And some of those days, that meant I couldn't even be with my kids in the way that I wanted to be. And that one hit different. I was fighting to stay here and to live for them. And some days, I couldn't even show up for them. And that's a hard thing to carry. Chemo did something that I never expected. It made my body loud. Every little signal, every tightening in my chest, every wave of stress and the weight on my shoulders, I felt it fully. I couldn't numb it. I couldn't just push past it. It was like the volume on my whole body was turned all the way up and there was no remote in sight to be able to turn it back down. And my body, it's been talking to me like this for years. I just never slowed down long enough to hear it. And in that forced stillness, I started hearing things I'd been too busy to even notice. The to-do list that had control of my life, when I got real honest, most of it didn't matter. The rushing through the door, waving my kids off so I could just get to dinner faster, the moments of them rushing to me were the exact moments I wanted to cherish and that I was working so hard to protect. I kept coming back to this one thought. I cannot fight and beat cancer to die of stress. I'm not doing it. And that became my motto, and it still is. So I made a decision. I stopped trying to get through everything. I started asking, what matters most right now, today? I switched from a to-do list to a priority list. I put my kids, my husband, obviously myself, and being present at the top. And I gave myself permission to let the rest go. Not because it didn't matter, but because I finally knew deep in my soul that life is precious, that tomorrow is not a guarantee. And I was done spending mine running on a hamster wheel that never stopped. So here's what life looks like now. When I walk through the door, I go straight to my kids. First thing, I say hi. I give them the first 5 minutes, just them, before I change my clothes, before I think about dinner, sometimes before I even get my bag off my shoulder. And it's before anything else. Before, I didn't think I had those 5 minutes. I felt like I had to be in motion, push harder, and just from the second I walked in. Or if I didn't, everything would just fall apart. Now I know those 5 minutes are the most important ones. And now that I have that priority list instead of a to-do list, that weight difference is real. Because my day doesn't feel so heavy anymore. It feels chosen. And when I feel the pressure start to build, when I can feel myself like speeding up inside, I notice it faster than I used to, and I name it. And most of the time, I can bring myself back before everything just spills over. And 9 times out of 10, I show up in the way that I want to. It's not always perfect. It's not about perfection, but it is completely different from where I was. And the part that I didn't expect is my kids are actually learning this too. And they've started to notice when their own systems are getting overwhelmed. They start to notice it and they have words for it now. And we can work together through it, and it has changed our entire household. And this is not because we've overhauled our entire routine. It's because when the mom at the center of the house gets steadier, everyone feels it. And I watch that happen right in front of me. So here's what I want you to take from my story. I became so passionate about this work and about helping moms like you because I don't want you to need a cancer diagnosis or some other health crisis for you to find your way here. I don't want you to need a wake-up call, because here's the truth that keeps me up at night. These years with our young kids go by so fast. And you know that, and I knew that. But knowing something in your head and actually feeling it and taking action in your everyday life, those are two completely different things. And I felt it the hard way. And I have spent years since then trying to figure out what actually shifted and why, so that you don't have to. And when your body finally gets to slow down, everything else gets easier. Everything else starts falling into place. And this isn't about having more time or more energy or a lighter load. I was on chemotherapy. I had less energy than I'd ever had in my entire life. And things still changed, because that change didn't happen out there in the schedule and in the to-do list. It happened in here, in my system, in the pace that you're carrying underneath everything else, in the way your body is moving through your days. And when that shifts, everything else shifts with it. So here's the shift I want you to take with you right now, because you probably have a to-do list somewhere in your phone, on a sticky note, running in the back of your head, or I don't know, maybe all three. That was me. They were everywhere. All right, and it probably feels heavy. But here's how I want you to think about it. Your to-do list is a list of everything that wants your attention, and a priority list is a list of what actually deserves it. These are not the same list, and you do not have to earn presence by finishing everything on that list first. That finish line doesn't come. Not today, not this season, not when the kids are older and life gets quieter. The list just grows new items. But your kids are here right now. So the question isn't, what else do I need to do? The question is, what matters most right now, today? Start there. If this is resonating, if you're sitting here thinking, I want that for myself, I want to make sure you know about something that I have coming up. It's called Beyond Survival Mode, How to Show Up as the Mom You Want to Be. It's a free live training where I walk you through how to actually make this shift, not as a concept, but as something real and practical inside your already busy life that you have. I'm taking names for that wait list right now, and I don't want you to miss it when it opens. The link is right below. Go grab it and get your spot on that wait list. And before I let you go, I want to speak to something that might be sitting in the back of your mind right now. This sounds good, but things are really full right now. I hear that. And I said the exact same thing. But here's what I want you to know. The calmer season isn't coming. Not in the way we picture it. And the shift you're waiting to make, it doesn't require a calmer season to begin. I was on chemotherapy. I was exhausted in a way that genuinely is hard to describe. My life was anything but calm. Doctor's appointments, medications, chemo, my kids, and things still changed. Not because I had more time, not because I had more energy, but because I stopped trying to push harder and I started actually listening to what my body was telling me instead. You don't need a lighter load, and you don't need a different season. You need a different approach, and it works inside the life that you already have. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show you the actual framework behind everything I've been sharing in this full series. It's the full system, the complete picture. It's what I normally only walk through inside my coaching program, and it's the video that ties everything together into something that you can actually use. If you've been watching this series, this one is for you and you don't want to miss it. I'll link it below and I'll see you over there.